Hi, my name's Chris Bealey. For those of you who don't know me, I'm an analyst at Nottinghamshire Healthcare. For those of you who don't work in the trust, my trust is currently doing a project where they're looking at the culture and values of staff in the trust, and they've asked us to record short videos talking about what our culture and values are, what motivates us to do what we do. Very briefly, my job is all to do with data and design databases. I build dashboards. I use statistical and machine learning methods to analyse all sorts of different data, particularly patient experience and staff experience data, but other data too. I would say there are definitely 4 values which are important to me and which certainly keep me coming to work every day. The first one is cooperation. I think the NHS is not set up in a way that encourages trust to cooperate with each other. And I think a lot of organisations, not just the NHS, are often not set up in a way that encourages departments to cooperate with each other. I think it's very important. To tell you the truth, I'm not really very interested in individual departments or individual NHS trusts. I don't think that really matters. I think we're all here for the same reason, which is to make patients better. And so that's something that I've been working very hard on, particularly recently with the advent of the ICS, to help us all to work across departmental and organisational boundaries. I think courage is very important. I think it takes a lot of courage to do anything important in life. I think if you make a mistake, I think you need to have the courage to admit that you made a mistake and put it right. And I think if somebody else makes a mistake, you need to have the courage to challenge them about it in a non-confrontational way and to help them to put it right. And I think so often I see that value being ignored. So often I see people taking the easy route, not confessing to mistakes they made themselves, not challenging other people where things are clearly wrong. And I think that that really poses a big challenge, I think, to getting things right, that's what my job really is all about, is getting things right. I think honesty is also very important. That relates slightly to what I was just saying in terms of being personally honest, but I think also organisations need to be honest. My organisation and the whole NHS, we spend a lot of public money. We have a lot of responsibility for some very vulnerable individuals, and we need to be honest. We need to be honest about what we're doing, how we're spending the money, why we're doing it. And I'm very proud to say my trust, as far as I know, it's the only trust in the country that openly shares all of its patient feedback data on the internet. There may be others, I've never heard of one. But to me, that's a core part of my values. And I'm very proud and pleased to note that it is part of my trust core values too. The last value that I would say I think is particularly important, perhaps in my line of work, is what I would call self-reliance. So I think the NHS over the years has become very dependent on external contractors for things, the type of stuff that I do, database management and analytics and machine learning and text mining. The NHS spends an awful lot of money on proprietary software, which they cannot share or reuse or change. And I really think, for me, the NHS really needs to foster it needs to develop its own people, and it needs to develop the skills that will allow it to operate in a very data-heavy environment sometimes we will need external contractors for particular things, but I really think the time has come for us all to get better at what we're doing and to build our staff and build our skills and build our capacity so we can do the really important work around data with the existing staff that we got, who understand the culture, and who understand the data, and who know the conditions, and who understand the problem. So I think that solution, I think, is not only cheaper, but it's also better.